Hey guys, this is the orientation video for the 240BH Springdale. As you come into the trailer, you'll see hanging on the door handle right there are your keys for the front door. So they'll be there when you arrive. You have a couple of drawers down here as well for some of your kitchen items if you need that. And up ahead to the left, this is where you're going to have your main control panel. So depending on where you're at, if you do not have full hookups, then you're going to want to be paying attention to these indicator lights up top. So partial hookups as well as no hookups, this becomes very important to you. The battery, these are push to test lights. So you just push them in and they light up for you up there. The battery, check that periodically throughout the day. If it gets below 2/3, you're going to want to make sure that you charge that back up by running the generator. And then also you want to make sure you do that before the end of the night or before quiet hours, so that your batteries are full during the night. There is a CO2 alarm that does go off if the battery levels get too low. In addition, your furnace requires a little bit of power as well, so make sure those batteries are charged up before the end of the night. The fresh is your fresh water supply. You check that. This is how much you have available to use. Black, gray, and galley are your holding tanks and show you how much you have used. So black is the toilet, gray is going to be the shower and the bathroom sink, galley is going to be your kitchen sink there. Occasionally you may have misreadings on the black tank or even sometimes on the galley tank, but check those periodically so that you're aware of where your levels are. If any of these holding tanks reach full, you're going to want to make sure you no longer use those items, because otherwise it will actually back up into the trailer, so you don't want that. A couple other things down here, you have the gas heater, electric heater. This is your hot water. So if you do not have hookups, you're going to want to have this gas heater on. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to heat up, so think about that before you want to take a shower or something like that, or you want the hot water. If you have electric hookups, then just use the electric water heater. You do not need to use the gas water heater. Again, that'll take about 15 minutes to heat up. Water pump, if you do not have hookups, this pump needs to be on, otherwise you will not get any water coming out of your sinks, shower, or toilet. Entry light, these are just some of your lights here. So the entry light, the awning light, the slide in and out, you won't have to touch that. That'll be set up for you, and then when we pick it up, we'll bring the slide back in. The awning, retract and extend, so that's an electric awning outside. Just if you're not at camp or in the evening, make sure to retract it all the way, and then obviously if it's too windy, go ahead and retract it as well. Okay, then coming up into the rest of the trailer here, you have your kitchen sink, which works just like a residential sink there. You just pull that there. This has a couple different functions on it there for shower and spray. Over here is your stovetop and oven. So to use that, you just fold back the top portion here, lift that up, select your burner setting there, and then over here is your sparker. So you just turn that to the right and that ignites your burner for you there. To use the oven, this is your oven control. You turn this knob to the little indication here, which is your pilot light. You're going to push and hold that in. And while holding it in, you're going to turn the sparker here, and that's going to ignite your pilot light down below. Okay, now I'm holding in the pilot, turning the sparker, and now the pilot is lit. Once that is lit, I can change my temperature on the top there, and then you can adjust the setting you want for the oven. And then when complete, just make sure everything is in the off position for you there. Up above, you have your hood light and your fan there, the microwave. You will need electricity to use the microwave, whether it's a park power or the generator, so that is required. Okay, then coming along here, a couple more drawers for you there. You have your refrigerator, which has the handles here. So just push that in to open that up. You have in between the fridge and the freezer, this is the controls for it. You shouldn't have to do anything. It's either in automatic or in liquid propane, it'll adjust based upon what you're using. So if you turn the generator on, it'll switch to electric, and when you turn it off, it'll go back to propane. So you don't need to do anything, it's all automatic. You can adjust the coolness of it if you choose. And then when you close it, just make sure you hear that clicking latch and you know it's secure. You got your bunk beds there. You have your bathroom here and the shower, and then the sink. There's an extra roll of toilet paper down underneath the sink there. For the toilet, you have a foot flush valve, so that's it. That's how you flush it right there. And you want to just make sure that when you do use the toilet, make sure to use enough water to flush the toilet paper down, because otherwise it can actually build up on you in the tank and make it appear like it's full when it's not. So make sure you use enough water when you're doing that, and then only use the supplied toilet paper, or if you buy RV toilet paper from the camp store, that's fine, or anything 2-ply would be okay. Then you have your dinette, which also drops down to a bed. This table will drop down and rest on these ledges here. For the table to drop down, you're going to pull it out to here. This yellow switch, you're going to move this lever to the side and you'll hear it click. And then as soon as that's like in that position, just place your foot on this and then you're just going to pull it down like that. And then you just can lay that right along the ledges of the dinette there, and then fill in the top of it with the cushions. And then to get the table to come back up, you're just going to put your foot again here and then just pull it towards you until it's all the way up, and then it will lock in the up position. Okay, now you've got the TV, the stereo, and the fireplace over here. You have the controls will be on one of the shelves right there. The fireplace does produce heat, but again, you do need electricity for it. So if you're at a hookup spot, no problem. You have the controls, which are right up in there, and you also have a remote control for it there. It changes colors. You can set different temperatures that you want for the heat to come out. Now you do have this switch right here that says air conditioning and fireplace. So they're on the same electrical circuit, so you can only use one or the other. So if this was in the air conditioning setting, then you could not use the fireplace. So just keep that in mind. The TV does have HDMI ports in the back, so if you wanted to bring your own Roku or Apple TV, you can do that. Most of the parks do not have very good antenna signal, so and this unit has a stereo but does not have a DVD player. So if you do want to watch DVDs, make sure you bring a little DVD player with you, and you can plug into the HDMI port on the back of the TV. Then going into the bedroom, just so you have your queen bed here with a couple of drawers for it. You do have these emergency exit windows on some locations. So to use those, you just, this latch will be in this position over here. You just have to get it out of there, pull it out, slide it forward, and then it'll catch on that particular spot for you. Okay, there was actually one other thing I wanted to point out for you here is the thermostat. So this is how you control the air conditioning and the heater. And you just do that by pushing the mode button, and you'll see it come on down here. It says off. This is just the fan. This is the cool. There's your furnace, and then back to off. So, and then up and down to adjust your temperatures and so forth. The furnace will work off of propane, but again, make sure your batteries are full before the evening, because the furnace motor is electric and requires some power for that. So the battery was sufficient for that. The air conditioning does require electrical or a generator of 3,000 watts or greater. Okay, and there's one other item I wanted to show you outside. So here's your outdoor kitchen. Just is held up here with this latch. You do have an outdoor refrigerator here. as well as 2-burner stovetop. And you just lift these latches up, pull this out, and you can latch it in the back here, if I can do that with one hand. And you just pull that up, set up your wind breakers, and then there's your little 2-burner stove. And that, guys, is the orientation for the Springdale 240 BH.